goes on and says, and he prunes the branches that do bear fruit, so that they will produce even more. And so these are branches that are already producing fruit, but the pruning is from those leaves I talked about, because when the lifeblood comes through the branch, it goes up into the leaves, so the fruit at the end is not getting as good as it should be getting, so a gardener will prune away the things. The first one, when he's lifting you up and tying you to other people, is deep discipline that's dealing with your sin. Getting something out of your life, getting the dirt off of you. He'll cut it off, and if you're willing to let him wash you off, he will do it, and you'll start seeing these fruit produce your life. These branches are not dealing with sin, it's dealing with self. These little leaves that are growing on my branch all tie back to self. I love Christ, I read my word every day, I'm in prayer, I'm in this and that. But there's leaves that point not necessarily sin, but priorities. You know what I'm saying? Am I willing to go and pray with my kids before they fall asleep, or do I want to watch The Office? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Just little things in our life that are just focused on self rather than focused on Him. And I can be so much more fruitful in my life if I would just cut out all those things that are focused on me and not focused on Him. He goes on, the next verse says, you have already been pruned and purified by the message I have given you. Remain in me, and I will remain in you. For a branch cannot bear fruit if it is severed from the vine. And you cannot improve your life unless you remain in me. That is common sense, y'all. All throughout the world, we see people chasing their tail, trying to find joy, peace, patience, kindness, happiness, not finding it at all. Because how would a branch produce fruit if it's just laying on the ground? It has to be connected to the only source of life that we have in this world, which just happens to be Jesus Christ. Period. We cannot produce fruit apart from the vine. It's very common imagery that He gives us here. And I know in my own life, I didn't see any of those things. I would call it joy, right? But it was just happiness based on happenings. If something good happens, yeah, I'm happy for a couple hours and it's all good, but then the happiness fades away and there's only depression and emptiness and neediness and all that type of stuff. Joy has come into my life since I plugged into this vine. That's just logic, not theology, but just logic. You know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of other vines that people are plugged into, and you find yourself plug into drugs, you plug into that right guy when he comes along, or that right girl, you plug into good times and fast life. The Bible says sin is fun for a season, and then wait a minute and see what happens. The Bible says sin is fun for a season, and at the end of that way is death. You know what I'm saying? And so there is a season of fun where it's like, hey, we're all at the bar, we're smacking cups, and yeah, it's all a good time. But the end of that way is, dang, I just got arrested for my third DUI, whatever. It always ends in that place where sin is a caramel apple that's rotten. You taste it, and got the caramel at first, it's like, that's good. You start chewing on it for a little while, and get that rotten apple, dig it into you. Like, man, I bought that lie again, I did it again, you know what I'm saying? And we do it again and again and again, like, hey, this caramel apple is better